Welcome to Her Ink Empire. I'm Justine Almaraz, and this is the podcast that redefines what's possible for you in the tattoo industry and in your tattoo education, not only in technical skills, but in business. This show is for fine artists, creatives, visionaries, artists of all kinds, even doodlers, who are ready to not just build a career, but a legacy. Here we merge mastery, freedom, and creative power to surpass the outdated industry norms, the outdated rules, and step fully into our creative power and roles as leaders in our communities. If you've ever felt like there has to be a better way, a better option to learn tattooing, to earn in this industry, and to lead in tattooing, you're in the right place. So let's build your empire, one bold, daring step at a time. Let's dive in. Welcome, Krista, to Her Ink Empire podcast. I'm so honored to have you here today. Yeah.
To figure out what this is all about with you.
Yeah, well, I was interested in chatting with you because you have a really interesting life journey, and it's led you to something I think quite unexpected in your life that has become the safe haven for me and so many other female artists, tattoo artists. And I would love to just hear the story of how you came to creating this beautiful, sacred, safe place for us. So where do you want to start?
Just so people know, I own the salon suites called SuiteStyle OC that Justine graces me with her presence at. I'm very grateful to have you as one of my rock stars there. You're a beautiful artist and a beautiful soul, and it always brings a smile to my face when I see you in your suite and know that you're there working. So
thank you.
Yeah, my journey has been just absolutely not pointing this way initially. And so I don't know, surprising, I suppose, is a better adjective. I am married. We've been married 30 years this year. We have 3 grown sons, and I had the privilege of being a stay-at-home mom with our boys. So for 20 years, I wasn't working outside the home. And even before I got to be a stay-at-home mom, I had been a registered nurse. And so nothing in my background would have necessarily pointed to starting a business as a salon suites. However, my husband took a new position and we ended up moving from our community in 2020, which the whole world was in a very weird state at that point. And we moved to a new community, didn't really know anybody. I mean, I'd kind of grown up nearby, but being gone that long, it's not your community anymore. And so I was sort of just looking at what my options were, how I was going to move forward, because I had successfully retired from my full-time gig as being a stay-at-home mom. All my boys successfully launched. They're all thriving off the payroll, doing good things in the world, and they're all around the country. So none of them were nearby. And I'll back up a little bit. In 2014, I started kind of seeing that there was going to be this day coming when I wouldn't have a job anymore of being a stay-at-home mom, that my boys would all leave the home, and then what? And I looked at my options then and didn't really love the idea of going back to nursing. So we had purchased a rental property in our community, and I had successfully kind of managed that, renovated that, and that worked for me. So my husband encouraged me to continue walking down the real estate path. And I thought that for sure meant I had to be a real estate agent. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to show houses on Sunday afternoons. And no, that's not what I want to do. But in the journeying of proving him wrong, that that's not what I was supposed to be doing with my life, I started realizing there's a whole lot more to real estate. And ended up buying some rental properties out of state, which I managed, and kind of proved to myself that I could do hard things. And so when I moved to this new community in Orange County, I realized that, okay, I don't know what I'm doing, but I think we should start a business, because why not? That's really, why not? And I naively thought I could do it. So I looked into buying a franchise and went a long ways down the franchise road for a salon suites. I worked with a franchise broker, I guess they're called, and she interviewed me. And because I was the primary one involved, my husband was just my cheerleader and my bankroller. But she interviewed me and kind of narrowed the field down to 3 options that she thought I would be good at as a franchisee. And so one of them was a salon suites.
What were the others?
Trash smashing. Yeah.
Seriously? What is that?
It's like this big machine that you go to these 2 or 3 yard things and that crunches down the trash. And I was like,
I can't see you doing that.
Quite sure. And the other one was a gym. I thought, I don't want to be the workout queen. I mean, I like working out and all, but I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. So the salon suites really resonated with me because it essentially is being a property manager, mm-hmm. which I had already sort of figured out how to do from a distance. And so I'm like, oh, there you go. It's like having an apartment building, all in one place. And the franchise route, they ended up kind of not responding to us at some points. And my husband kept saying, we don't need a franchise. We can figure this out on our own. I'm like, I do not have the roadmap. That is not my path. I need somebody to tell me what to do because this is too big of a deal. So I found a guy I hired as a consultant and paid him a lot of money and learned a lot of hard life lessons through that process, but we ended up building it and it opened our doors in December of 22. So it has kicked my butt multiple times because I naively did not have any idea of how important marketing was and advertising. And I just thought if I build it, people will show up. That's not really what happens in the real world. So it's taken me quite a lot of time and I'm still trying to figure it out. Social media has never been something I've enjoyed in my life. And in fact, spent 20 years avoiding it because it was, mentally challenging to compare yourself to other stay-at-home moms. And I thought that was all it was about. But now I'm embracing the fact that it's a necessary tool and I'm trying to understand it more. But in the process of finding people to come and rent from me, a couple of girls came to me right away and asked if they could tattoo there. I remember going to my husband and I'm like, I don't know, these tattoo artists. I mean, these 2 girls are cute, but like tattoos? Neither one of us have tattoos. Grew up, nobody has tattoos. And so, even though my husband was a sailor, and then when we first got married, he never got one. So we just have the wrong impression of tattooing. And so we really talked about it. We prayed about it. We're like, all right, Lord, is this the path forward for us? And then as we were praying and talking about it that weekend, we went to church. Every pastor at our church has a tattoo.
You start seeing them everywhere, right?
Everywhere. And you're like, oh, I actually think that this is not like we used, it's not like it used to be. But when I was an RN, I was a psychiatric nurse for children and adolescents. On our intake form, we had to question them. Do you self-mutilate or do you have tattoos? That was on the intake questionnaire for somebody who came in for a psychiatric evaluation. And so in my head, that kind of must have stuck there a little bit too, right?
Yeah.
That was 25 years ago or 27 years ago. So
wow.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you a self-mutilator and do you tattoo and piercings? Do you have a lot of piercings? That was all signs of aberrant behavior at the time. But we found out that we actually have the zoning at our location, which
hallelujah.
I'm like, what a happy accident, because I never would have thought to even look for that. And I'm like, God had a plan. God absolutely had a plan. The location is perfect. And I'm like, yes, we can take tattoo artists. And those first two girls were so amazing. And it just opened my eyes to the fact that they don't fit in a traditional tattoo shop. They're looking for someplace different. And because of my nature, my suites are built in such a way that safety really matters to me personally. So my doors are always locked. I've got cameras in the front and back, and all the hallways have cameras. Like, security matters. I don't want anybody, because I'm just envisioning these women mostly working in their suites, busy looking down, concentrating, and just the idea of somebody wandering in their hallway and startling them who shouldn't be there sends shivers up my spine. So that is not ever what I wanted to provide. And so these girls are like, we feel safe here. And yeah, I'm like, well, yay, keep coming. And now we've got, 10 tattoo artists here? And I love them. My eyes have completely shifted. My husband's opinion has completely shifted. Yeah, it's an amazing community. And I'm enjoying it now. Really just seeing the artwork, and it's super creative and beautiful.
Yeah, I love your story around that. Check, we got it, we're done. I'm just kidding. There's more I have to ask you about.
I'm glad you want to know more, because I have no idea what you're going to ask me.
Yeah, well, my experience was that I was in a great neighborhood in Eagle Rock, and then our landlord wanted us to move because they were selling the building. So I had to quickly get out. So I looked around and I couldn't find anywhere that would take a tattoo studio. I made a beautiful slideshow presentation of our lovely, kind artists with smiling faces and the clean, beautiful space we have. And, just really made a nice showcase of how we do things differently. And I was looking in areas like Pasadena and, the surrounding areas, and no one would take us. Mm-hmm. So I was able to find a space in downtown LA. But the safety situation was a massive problem. And so my clientele did not want to be there. I wasn't comfortable really being there, especially if we do a long session. We don't want to be there late. So I decided I was going to get out of downtown. And I looked locally again and couldn't find anywhere that would take us. So I called like all the salon suite owners I could get my hands on just from Googling. And they all said, yes, we'll take you. Well, not all. A few of them said they would. But then they say you have to contact the city area and see if we're zoned for what you want to do. And none of them were. So I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. So that the fact that you didn't advertise was no problem, because I still was able to find you, is my point. So
it's a God thing, because I literally don't know how to advertise. So I'm like still figuring it out.
Well, hopefully this helps connect you with more amazing, kind female tattooers that need some safety. So I would love that. I was shocked by the cleanliness and the style, like literally. This style was such a huge selling point too, because you have such a good eye for design and aesthetics, and that really matters. And in a space where I want my clients to feel that they're getting an elevated experience. And I'm just like, every little thing that you do to run the space feels top notch, high quality. And I know our clients feel that way too. So I'm just really want to thank you for creating this space.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you see it. I'm glad you appreciate it. I've heard feedback from other tattoo artists that it's not edgy enough, because my aesthetic is very clean and simple, white walls with black trim, and you make of it what you want. And some of them have suggested you need to have murals in your entryway. And I'm like, that might be some people's thing. You can do that in your suite, but in my entryway, because I'm not just catering to tattooists either. I've got hairstylists and estheticians and nail artists and massage therapists. I've got, a big broad range that I'm trying to cater to. But one thing I've loved is that I've got big, huge white walls with black ceilings and great light, perfect for highlighting artwork.
Yeah.
So I've got some of your original artwork hanging on my walls for sale. And I've got a couple of shelves in my entryway that delights me to walk in and see artwork there. And I hope, actually just this morning, somebody was asking about a piece. So I hope you sell things from there. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for that opportunity too. That's really special. Yeah, I think the fact that you love artists and really want to you really welcome us. I think that says so much about your character and making us feel comfortable too. And that we get total freedom in our suites. Like, it's the best place for anyone to run their tattoo business. So anyone listening who is looking for a safe place, who wants creative freedom in Orange County, tons of free parking in what?
In the city of Orange.
In the city of Orange.
55 freeway, yeah. There is great parking. That's a big struggle for a lot of students.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, and I opened my very first private studio in a salon suite in Glendale, and the parking was difficult. It was just difficult. And what I love about everything about what you're doing is just perfect. So I'm happy. I'm just the happiest I've ever been, ever. And and that there's community of other artists. Like, where do you get that in salon suites? Like what you have. So it feels like
you were instrumental in that, building the community. You and Charlene and Danielle, you guys supported me enough to say, whatever you need, Krista, we're going to support you. And I am so grateful for that, because I fully admit I stink at advertising, but I love each of you. And I'm like, oh, you guys would really like each other if you just knew each other. And so you're like, you know what? Absolutely. We'll get together. And you did, and you blessed each other, and you blessed me. And that was fun. And we're trying to plan session number 2.
Yeah, it was great. That was really special. And I just interviewed Danielle too. So you'll get to hear her story, and hopefully Charlene too. Yeah.
That's why I'm like, there's such great artists here. And it hurt my heart that the 2 original tattoo artists I had left because they didn't have community. They felt isolated. And so when I heard that, I thought, I got to get these people interacting, because there is so much talent and great people in the suite just around the corner from you. Why are you not meeting each other? So that's really what my heart was like. Nobody should feel isolated if they don't want to.
True. I don't necessarily think that's your fault though. That's a lot of artists are very introverted and we're shy, but if we want to meet other people, like, I'm constantly saying hi to everyone in the hallways and trying to engage and connect. And over time, I know that the right bonds will be made and connected. And so I trust that. And also, so too, there's different needs of different artists at different times of their careers too. So often in the beginning of someone's career, they want more, generally speaking, more community and more connection, because they want to learn more skills from each other. They want to bounce ideas off of each other. They want to share clients and things like that. For me, at my stage too, I've been tattooing for 15, 16 years, and I want a lot of privacy. And I want quiet, and the rooms are quiet. I can't hear anybody. And my clients are coming to me because they want that exclusive private experience. So it works perfectly for what I want and the kind of experience I'm cultivating for my clients. So yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding the right artist at the right time of their careers to be just thriving in that kind of space. And I think if you're a newer artist that has no clientele and you do not want to do any marketing, it's like you going into a hobbit hole in the ground and trying to build a business alone in the dark. It can't work.
Exactly. It's a very, very slow growth process. Yeah. I don't know if Danielle shared the story, but I often tell people when I tour them around, Danielle came to me she had moved from Redlands, or not even Redlands. She was in Redding. She was in Northern California. And she had, I think, 4,000-ish followers when she came almost 2 years ago. And she just posted all the time. All the time. She doesn't buy any advertisement and all, but she puts herself out there and posts all the time. And she's, I don't know, 60,000 or something followers now. She's just killing it. But she actually worked it. And she didn't mind being the face of her business. I just appreciate supporting people who want to achieve their dream of being a small business owner that pays the bills, right? Like somebody who's successful at what they're trying to do. I love getting behind that.
Yeah. From your perspective, from seeing so many people come in and begin to start their businesses or jump in from different places of their life, like what do you think about the ones that are thriving and that do the best? What are those characteristics you notice they have, or those things that they're doing to thrive? Do you notice anything?
I think about these things a lot because, for me trying to figure out advertising, I'm like, who is my avatar? Well, her name is Justine Alvarez.
That's so funny.
It's somebody who has already established themselves and their style. So they're not selling everything under the sun as far as style. They've got a healthy following on social media. They have the desire to work hard and make it work. They're not expecting something to just miraculously help them to, I'm going to catch one post and it'll go viral and then I'm going to be famous. I get a lot of brand new, hardly any followers tours that come through because they want to be at the suites, but they're not ready to be at the suites. And that's not just tattoo. It's hair, it's skin, it's everybody. You have to actually go get your reps probably someplace. And it's hard to find a place that feels safe, especially as the tattoo world is changing. Or find somebody to share a suite with, which I highly encourage. I mean, you're not there 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. So find somebody else who's also starting out. Share the suite, build your business that way. And I have a couple of girls doing that right now. And I just think that's a genius way to get started. But you really almost have to, yourself, your brand, and your work ethic. And because my doors are always locked, you're not getting any walk-ins. You're not going to have flash sales on Friday the 13th easily in a place like this. Now, it can be done. It can be done because somebody has done it. But if that's how your bills get paid is, $50 pieces, you kind of need more than that, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to squash anybody's dreams, but start getting really, really good at what you do. So good that Instagram loves you and you got followers. I mean, the fact that Danielle has people flying in from Germany to get a tattoo, I'm like, she has figured it out. She has figured that out. And you have people coming from all over the country. I don't even like the one girl from Chicago flew out here for a month just to learn from you. You have already got your business and your style and your lane and you're just excelling in your lane.
Yeah, that's so key. That's a huge part of what I teach. So yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Do you see yourself opening a second one?
You and my husband keep asking me the same question. It's a challenge for me because I still have a couple of vacancies here. So part of my struggle is what makes me think there's a need for more suites if I haven't even filled these up. So I've got a couple of vacancies and I'm like, who says there's a need? Now, my brain has this very weird thing that I feel like unless I'm 100% full, I'm not successful. And my husband keeps trying to challenge that concept. Like, no, Krista, that's not how you measure success. I know that this is definitely, we're doing great. It is successful. Will I start another one again? If God wants me to, I will. Honestly, I fought the Lord on this and told him I didn't think it was a great idea multiple times in the beginning. And I have my journals saying that. I'm pretty sure I'm hearing you wrong. I'm pretty sure this is not my skill set. I tell a funny story, but last year I took a spiritual gifts assessment at my church because I had to lead a Bible study. And I haven't done that since college. And so I'm like, they're kind of hogwash. Like, you serve in your church where you need to serve, whatever. You just do the thing that needs doing. You don't worry about if it's your gift or not. But I had to do this because I was leading these young girls. So I took it. I got my results back and I bust a gut laughing to myself because I scored 0% in administrative abilities and 4% in hospitality. And I just thought that was hysterical. Like, of course, Lord, you would have me open a business. Of course, you would have it be all about hospitality. Of course, that's what you've called me to. Like, I have no natural ability for this. Zero.
I really find that hard to believe because
it's not me.
Because I think you do it so well.
Then it's clearly God and not me. Not my natural abilities.
Well, I'm fooled.
If he calls me to it,
yeah.
It would have to be a very special place because the zoning, I wouldn't do one if I didn't have the zoning for tattoo.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful young women want tattoos and want to give tattoos, and a traditional shop doesn't meet their needs.
No.
Your clients don't want to be in a traditional shop. The zoning for where those places are is usually pretty sketchy. So your neighborhoods are sketchy. Yeah, the vibe is sketchy. I frequently hear when people walk in, oh, I just love the vibe in here. I'm like, well, of course you do. I don't say it, but I'm like, of course you do. Because I've been praying for this since before it was created.
Yeah.
I pray over every suite. I pray over who's going to come and how I can be a blessing to their business because that's what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. And not doing that for the money. I'm doing that because that's what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And that I get it. Okay, Lord, how do I glorify you?
Mm-hmm.
And that means blessing others. So
it's very different as a renter to know that your faith is so strong and to experience the level of, well, for my experience, kindness, clear communication, level-headedness. There's no chaos, like chaotic energy in you. It's always joyful, clear, clean, simple, straightforward, nothing convoluted or confusing. Like, that experience as a renter for me is very, very valuable and very important and rare. So I really appreciate those qualities in you, and that I feel like for anyone running a business, those are qualities that I think we need to have. And I think that, well, I'm very blessed to experience that and to see that an alternative example of that, because the way you run your business is an inspiration to me and helps me be better as well. So it's very synergistic.
Anything good you see in me is Christ. I don't take any of the credit for that. But I will say he has been able to bless people who are very far from him in these suites.
Yeah.
Very far. And I'm not judging them. I'm honestly, I want them to be blessed. I want them to know Christ. I want them to know something different from what they've ever experienced when it comes to maybe Christianity and I'm not constantly preaching my faith to everyone, but it's funny how it organically ends up coming out in conversation. I have no idea. And I'm like, oh, well, we're going there. Okay. All right, Lord, here we go. Guess I'm going to talk about you again. But if somebody asks me this week, somebody asked me, I want your peace. Well, I know how you can have my peace. I know I can point him out. I can introduce you to him.
Yeah.
And if you see peace in me, it's because Christ is in me. And I run a business for his glory. And I try to be a good steward of his, everything he's entrusted to me. And so Christians of all people should be the best business people on the planet, and the best employees and the best artists. I mean, honestly, we should be. Everyone is welcome here, and I want to bless everyone. And I'm not trying to convert everyone. I don't do that. I just try to bless and love on people and support their business.
Yeah, it's infectious.
I give everybody, I gift everybody an hour with Jen, my marketing girl. She's been a suite runner, but she's got this focus on marketing. She started 5 businesses of her own. She's currently running 3 out of her home while homeschooling her boys. She is dialed in and can answer any one of your questions. I gift you an hour with Jen. You ask her anything you want, but at the very minimum, she'll look at your social media and say, is this the avatar you meant to be trying to attract? If it's not, what do we need to do? So I want everybody to be successful. I want everybody to thrive in the pursuit of their own business.
Yeah, thank you for that too, that support too, because call with Jen, like I am still chipping away at that to-do list. And this podcast is happening because of that meeting with her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's been on my to-do list to put this together. I already had a handful of episodes to recorded last year and let her know that. And she said, well, you know, you can't do everything yourself. You need to have support. So go look at hiring an assistant that can help you put this together. Mm-hmm. So we have an amazing assistant now that is helping us put it together. And now I can handle so much more.
Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
She sees things clearly and she like cuts to the chase. And so it's such a gift.
Mm-hmm.
The way her brain thinks, I highly value that. And so I'm like, everybody should spend an hour with Jen.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that.
Especially when your brain's like mine and you're like, administrative abilities are really low.
Yeah. What has been the most effective way for you to attract suite renters so far?
So far, it's probably Instagram. Mm-hmm. Not ads. We haven't had success with ads. We've done a few very expensive campaigns and haven't gotten anything. It's boosted posts, which is just a slow grind. It's probably not the most efficient way. I honestly, and I'm really ashamed to admit this, but just literally in the last 3 months realized that I should be advertising on Google. I didn't even realize you could advertise on Google. I'm not that smart about advertising. And I had a business profile, but it wasn't even pinned to my location for probably the first year and a half. I mean, hot mess. So Google is now becoming right kind of up there with Instagram.
Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, you mentioned that to me about, maybe a month ago. And I looked into it. I talked to Luis about it and we looked into our listings on Google and realized there was a lot we needed to do. And something new that I had never seen was a possibility is something called Google local listings, local ad listings, something like this. So what they're asking you to do is send in your paperwork of your business and they'll do a background check on you. And I think it's like a minimum of $35 a week spend on it or something like that is the minimum. And it seems that from what we've heard from other people that they're getting like fully booked. For example, like Luis's mobile detailing, another mobile detailer did it and is completely booked out to like the end of the year because of this local Google listing thing. So I looked into it for Orange for tattooing and they said they hadn't approved it for that location. So I'm playing around with like going the back end, like how can I say it's for education or something else or beauty or something and try to connect it and it worked. So I would just keep like kind of picking at it and trying ways.
Google local ads.
Yeah, look into that.
I will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of hired a guy, so I'm going to ask him.
Cool.
Yeah, because I heard that Google ads are not that easy to figure out. And so I hired someone. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
Good idea.
Just started last week.
Cool.
And I just started asking my current tenants for Google reviews, which I had never done.
Right.
So my goal is to get every one of my existing tenants to give me a Google review. So we'll see if I can do that. Yeah. Hopefully they all like it there.
And, I did the testimonial video. I think more things like that.
That teared me up. It was very sweet.
Oh,
I shared it with Maddie, my daughter-in-law, who runs my social media. And she's like, oh, I love this.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm so happy. And I want everyone to know. I mean, I wish my tattoo artist collective was all local and everyone could rent a suite from you, but they're all over the country. So world.
Where would you open one if you were me?
My dream studio is overlooking the ocean. So I don't know if that's possible somehow, some way. It'd be so cool.
Very few artists could they afford that rent, right? That would be expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe it's in a different place. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think, well, you're hitting, I've fallen in love with Orange County since moving there, moving my studio there. I live in West Covina, but I would love to live in Orange County. I think when I drive into Orange, it feels like the gates of heaven have opened. The trees are like electric green. The sky is blue. The clouds are perfect. Everyone's happy. There's tons of free parking.
I remember when you and Lewis toured, and I was like, you two, if you've never seen it, need to drive into downtown Orange, just not even a mile away.
Yeah.
And go check it out. You are going to want to move to Orange.
It's true.
I'm like, this place is pretty special.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So I don't know. I love the space you've chosen. And
Well, thank you.
I think it's perfect.
Thank you.
Maybe you could just go higher and we could get an ocean view.
There you go.
I'll get the penthouse one, please.
Yes. Perfect. Only 27 floors to go.
That'd be pretty cool.
We'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to it. I'm just not actively looking at this moment.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actively looking until I was before. I was fighting God on it, and then finally surrendered, and he got his way.
Yeah. I'm so glad. I'm so grateful. Is there anything else you'd love to add or share that we haven't hit yet?
I guess I would love to know what your plans are. Are you looking to grow your tattoo side or your business development teaching side?
That's such a great question. It feels a bit half and half, maybe a little bit more leaning to education at this point, because I'm so in love with teaching. And I love tattooing too. And there's different things I want to explore and different styles I want to expand into. So that interests me to grow that. But when I'm in the tattoo part of with me tattooing, what I'm looking for are clients who want larger body pieces that are, or want to work on having their pieces evolve and really love a stronger, bolder, abstract aesthetic. Some of the pieces, I call them power suits. So I think you've seen some of the prints in the studio. There are these pieces that flow around the whole body.
Like a whole back kind of a piece. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those kind of pieces. I can do them fairly quickly too. So it feels really kind of effortless to create them and really joyful because there's such a fluid experience in the creation process of that. So I enjoy that.
The ones I've seen are very feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Do you enjoy tattooing females more, the feminine aesthetic? Do you find males attracted to that aesthetic?
That's really interesting. It's really interesting that you say that now. Most of my clientele over the years has been women, but in the last season and the last couple months, it's been almost all men.
Really?
Yeah, it's really interesting.
And are they getting the flowy look, or are they coming in with something different they want from you?
A little bit of both. I think they're drawn to more of the somewhat fine line, kind of realistic pieces. So I do those kind of a little bit underground, just because I think it's fun to try different things, but it's not something I'm actively promoting. Mm-hmm. And the others are looking for that bolder, like abstract, thicker lines. They want a lot of them are getting cover-ups of things or enhancing old tattoos. So I love doing that. I really, really, really love enhancing old tattoos or doing cover-ups. I don't think a lot of artists do, but I love that transformation of making something new again.
I would love that too.
Yeah.
I love renovating and making beauty out of something that's not so beautiful.
Yeah.
You would love to see that place that I got from the landlord the key.
Yeah. What was our space before?
It used to be a beauty supply store back in the day, but it had been vacant for a couple of years. And it was just a huge dark turquoise and orange walls, huge open, dirty space.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, no, this isn't going to work at all. And I remember fighting the guy I had hired as my consultant. He was from Texas, and he was older than me. And he was like, you cannot do concrete floors. That looks so low class. And I said, I will not do carpet squares. I will not have vinyl plank. I'm not going to do that. I find that hideous. And he's like, that looks white trash, he said to me. I'm like,
no way.
I don't need to take advice from a 60-something-year-old white guy from Texas. No,
Thank you.
I'm like, I'm not taking your advice on that. He's like, you're going to regret this. All the clickety clack of the heels and the women in their stilettos walking down the hallways. And I'm like, who wears stilettos to the salon anymore? What are you insane? Nobody's wearing stilettos in California like that.
How interesting.
Like, no, I rebuke that. I'm not taking that one.
Wow. I love the concrete floors.
I do too.
What?
Yeah. He was very, very hard on me for that decision. I'm like, look, you're my consultant. You're not my decorator. I'm not taking her.
Good job. Good job, man. Because if there was carpet, that would detour me.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Like, oh, you just whip those up when they're stained and you replace it. And I'm like, oh, yuck, with all the hair stuck in it, gum on people's shoes stuck in it. Like, no, that's disgusting. I like clean. Like, I am an eagle eye for clean too.
Yeah.
I look down the hall and I'm like, what's that down there?
Yeah, I love that about you. I love it. I am too. And we need that too for tattooing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just the best. So anyone listening who needs a great space to run your business, come check out Krista Suite.
I want to know where the tattoo industry is heading.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because there was something you said I had a question about too, because that was it. You said that the tattoo industry is like changing, and I was curious about what you think. So let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, it's common now for people to have tattoos. You see them everywhere. People, and the fine line tattoos, I don't know, it feels so much more accessible, and people are doing it. I have one of my dear friends is 60 years old and just got her first tattoo last year.
Yeah, it's way more common.
Way more common.
When I was learning, I was fighting my mentors to teach me how to use the finest needles so I could do this. I wanted to turn my drawings that were extremely fine lined, sketchy, ornate. Yeah. And they said, we don't want you to focus on that because no one will want that. No one wants that, Justine. So I want you to focus on the traditional style. And I want you to focus on that. So I tried, and I was terrible at it. But that was something that I wanted for myself and figured out how to do. And that was 15-ish years ago. So I think artists are constantly trying to break apart the norms of it. There's some that will stay very true to tradition, and some that will constantly be trying to break that apart. And I was of that mindset to shake things up in every single way, which is why I created my own studio too, because I wanted a safe place, which was rare, you know. But that is now becoming norm a bit more. So
you see a lot more of the light, bright, and airy aesthetic in tattoo, especially female-owned tattoo shops, less of the dark and heavy feeling. And I don't even really know what I'm describing, because I've only been in a handful of tattoo shops, and that's only been in the last few years, but it feels a lot darker to me.
Yeah, traditionally, tattoo shops were, they had colored painted walls and tons of framed artwork covering the walls. Actually, this is kind of weird. The shop that I learned at is a great shop. They had a location in Anaheim, and that's where I mostly was learning it. And this shop was so creepy visually, because there was some famous artist did this sculpture mural thing that was like coming out of the wall. Wow. That was all these like dead zombie demon ghosty things in 3D. And that was a whole back wall, and it was that corrugated metal and chain link fence and colored dark, dingy kind of gray, dark walls, and orange maybe too. I don't know. So it was a very intense vibe going to work every day.
Yeah. And your clients.
Pardon?
And your clients, like, am I going to look like that when I get done here? And how do you get the private body part tattooed when there's all these other people around?
Well, that was a problem because either the tattoo artist was just unconscious of it and just had the girl take off their top or pull down their pants and they're just exposed, or someone might have been conscious of it. Like I was like, I'd get something to cover them, or there was one little kind of folding partition thing we could put around them. But the partitions, I think, are a better idea. In my old studio, I had put curtains that were in the ceiling, like in a hospital, around the beds. So we could do that. But the individual rooms are ideal. What you have is ideal.
Well, because you're listening as well to all the conversations for all these hours and hours and hours while you're getting tattooed. And so to me, that's my aesthetic is the way it is. I require, you're only allowed to have one kind of blind on your windows on the interior, because I don't want mental noise. Mm-hmm. I don't want to add anything onto you. I want to provide just a haven. Like, this is safe. You are free to be as creative as you want to be in your own suite. But my hallways, like this aesthetic, I don't want the mental noise of somebody's sun, moon, and stars fabric hanging from a window, and somebody else has frosted this or that, and somebody else is, I'm like, that assaults me.
Me too. I know. I feel the same way.
So that's why I'm like, nope, you can do what you want in your suite, but this is how the hallway must look.
I love that. I love that you can, like, they can have it open and you can look in and see how people have decorated. I think that's really cool. But
I love how you've got your suite decorated. And Maria next door to you, I hope you've met her. She's phenomenal.
Maria's amazing.
Is gorgeous. I'm like, lift your blinds.
I know.
But that's my aesthetic, right? So
we do.
It's the gorgeous. It's, beautifully displayed. And
Maria was my inspiration.
Was she?
Yeah. Like, Pekin, how'd she do that?
Beautiful. And it's so ordered and calm. All of her products on her beautiful shelves.
Yeah.
I like that aesthetic. I like the piece of that. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of there's no noise to deal with, the drama.
Yeah, exactly. When you mentioned the industry changing or tattooing changing, is that what you were implying? Or was there something about the financial aspect of it?
I guess I don't know enough about the origins of the tattoo industry to say how much it's changed. My perceptions certainly have changed, but I was unaware completely of tattooing previous to this. Really just thought it was, a mental disorder, as I alluded to earlier. Or you had to be in the Navy, like you were on a drunken bender in port and you got tattooed. That was kind of my impression of it. Now, like I said, every one of our pastors has a tattoo. People have tattoos all over the place.
Yeah.
It's become the norm. It's not at all the exception as it once was. And so even in my husband's industry, you would have had to wear a long sleeve shirt and put a Band-Aid over it if you had a tattoo. That's not required anymore. Mm-hmm. So just the world is accepting of it. And so in my opinion, it's changing and becoming far more mainstream.
That's true. I think that the paramedical tattooing combined with regular tattooing is also a big reason why it's also becoming more normal too. Mm-hmm. The cosmetic and paramedical tattooing, which is more of like, let's say someone had breast cancer and the surgery, double mastectomy. And let's say I have a client coming soon and where we're going to be adding to an areola that wasn't able to be put back together the way she envisioned. So we're doing a bit of a realistic 3-dimensional areola combined with some scar smoothing and some decorative ornamental work around it, so she'll feel brand new again. Yeah.
I didn't know you did that. I love that. It's such a need. I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah, that's kind of to circle back around. That's the other type of work I'm excited about, So
well, it's positive and hopeful. And I think maybe some of your industry, if I can be so bold as to characterize it, some of your industry can be very dark and hurtful.
Yeah, it sure can.
And people do get tattoos that show their pain to the world. And to me, that I'm sad for them, because I think, oh, life doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I think you nailed it right there. You can choose to do something for light or darkness. You get to choose how you want to create in the world.
And to be branded, for the rest of your life by pain and suffering and hurt and trauma feels like you're just imprisoning yourself.
Yeah.
Like a constant reminder of maybe not a great period.
Yeah.
And as humans, we all get an option. Well, I can't say all. There are people who don't have options. In America, we're blessed and we get the options here. So I am always curious at the pain of people's story when they get tattooed certain ways. It makes me want to hear their story.
Yeah. I think too, the experience that the environment and the experience of what's happening around them and how it feels around them goes into the memory of that tattoo. So when they look at it, they can't help but detach the experience of getting it with what they have. And that's why I think the experience
music, the gross demonic things coming out of the wall. Yeah,
right.
You're right. Because it's a traumatic, tattooing hurts. So it's trauma. And you're willingly putting yourself through trauma. And you're also then absorbing all the other senses, the sensory input. So it gets deeper in your psyche, for sure.
Yeah. So the environment that you're providing for us helps to diminish the demonic.
You're on point, though. I love the energy you put into it and the peace that you want to give to every one of your clients. That it's a healing place, that this is a safe place, that this is a cocoon, this is nurturing, And I think that's, to me, the side of the industry. I want those people who want to feel like they want to be enveloped in safety.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of the RA. I'm like a room mom, like, oh, come to me.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly how I feel. Yeah. You're a studio mom. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a great, I'm privileged to know you. I'm grateful that God has me where he has me. It's every day, it's new learning opportunities and just getting to know great people. Seeing a side of the world I never would have chosen to know and understand before.
Yeah, that's really
grateful he opened my eyes.
Me too. Thank you, Krista. It's been an honor to speak with you, connect on all these amazing topics. Thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely. Well, if anybody's watching, come and visit Justine and get a tattoo, and I hope to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you, Krista. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Bye, Justine.
Thank you so much for listening and being a part of Her Ink Empire. Remember, this is only the beginning. Your empire is already unfolding. Until next time, stay bold, stay aligned, and stay true to you as you build your artistic legacy.